Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Happy Valentine's Day for all of those that are snuggled up to their loved ones celebrating. Behave yourselves out there tonight, ladies and gentlemen. We love you all. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Again, good evening, afternoon, or morning, depending on where it is in the world that you are viewing from today. We appreciate you guys all stopping in, and we are here for round 5 of GT Champions World Cup Season 3 GTC4 division, ladies and gentlemen. So on Saturday is when the race was ran. And I am your host for the evening, Tim Gray, or Ghost45 now on screen. And the reason why this one wasn't done live for you, ladies and gentlemen out there, is because I race in the division. So we do it a couple days later and bring the broadcast to you guys after the fact. We've been doing it all season. These have been some absolutely fantastic races put on by the GTC4 guys here so far this season, and I don't doubt for a second that round 5 is going to be any different. This is, ladies and gentlemen, presented by RWB Racing and is sponsored by Detailing Group, and you can find them at www.detailinggroup.com, and of course the other sponsors that we need to shout out here as well: Metropolis, Hyundai, and Pride of the Dragon. Metropolis you can find on the internet as well at www.metropolis.com, and you can also find Pride of the Dragon on the net as well, www.prideofthedragon.com, ladies and gentlemen. And we will throw up a graphic on the main screen for you guys for Hyundai, the graphics designer. He's a gentleman that brings us all these amazing graphics you guys get to see throughout the broadcast. And let's jump into our lobby screen here and get some details on track. So we have our cameraman here hanging out on track. You can see again we've greased the wheels here also on Autopolis short here in Japan. So GT Champions must have some friends in the back offices here as we are able to sneak that cameraman on the track again. So we have something a little special this evening for you guys as well before we get on with the race. So we'll let the cameraman do the introductions for the race, and then we're going to do something a little special, and then we'll continue on with the race in full, ladies and gentlemen. So we are with the Group 4 cars this week, and the drivers are all running the Hyundai Genesis. So one make race here this week. We are on Autopolis short again over in Japan. The tires that the drivers are required to use are racing softs and racing medium tires, and the tire wear and the fuel consumption for this race is 2 times for each. And of course, like always, ladies and gentlemen, we do have a mandatory pit stop here at GT Champions. No different here in round 5 from the previous 4 rounds. The drivers are required to stop in between 50 minutes remaining and 40 minutes remaining in the race. That is when the drivers are allowed to come in, change to the other tire compound that they are not using, and take their fuel for the second half of the race. However, drivers are allowed to pit for mechanical damage outside of the pit window as long as they are only repairing the car. If they take fuel or tires during that pit stop outside the pit window, they will be assessed a 1-minute penalty per infraction, ladies and gentlemen. So the drivers definitely got to make sure they're careful when they're going into the pits here today if needed. And our starting grid, ladies and gentlemen. So again, here at GT Champions, our starting grids are always based off of each driver's fastest laps in the previous race. So we collect all the fastest lap from each driver from round 4 over in Kyoto, Japan. Yamagawa Miyabi track last week is where we ran. And the fastest lap goes into the back of the grid, all the way down the grid to the slowest lap that starts on the front of the grid. So that is how our grid is set today. So with that being said, let's go through our grid. We have Dubs here sitting on pole. We have Noam sitting in second. We've got Picteca in third place. We've got Average Viper in fourth. Astro Pancake starting fifth. Walk Motorsport starting in sixth. GC12 Formula 1 in 7th, Devon Calypso in 8th, Toolshed in 9th, Stangman in 10th place, Ghost45 in 11th, Spider Team 1 in 12th, and Marchie Boy, who we don't have on the list here, starting in 13th position because he missed last race. So with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, that is what is going down here tonight for our race for this evening. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. So we're just going to flip over. We're going to let our cameraman do his thing here so we can get get off the track so the officials don't get us trouble. So Dubs here in first place, ladies and gentlemen. Moving down the line here to Noam. And then Picteca here in third place, ladies and gentlemen. Classic Picteca livery right there. We come up over here, we've got Average Viper sitting on the grid, ladies and gentlemen. In the other Picteca car, driving for Picteca Hyper, we've got Pancake here. And then we move back up the grid further, we've got Walk Motorsports in that very shiny, very shiny car. Same car every race, same design, just different car. And then we have Formula One, ladies and gentlemen. Beautiful signature on the side of the car right there. Moving up the grid now, we have Devon Calypso here as well. This is just fantastic stuff, ladies and gentlemen. We've got Tool Shed sitting right there. Moving up the grid here. Look at these liveries, ladies and gentlemen. Aren't these fantastic? Rookie on the front of the car here. Guys were really great stuff. I can't remember who that was, ladies and gentlemen. My goodness. Stagman, ladies and gentlemen. Stagman. A little bit of a different livery. And then we've got Ghost 45 here. Rocking a bit of a different livery, and you guys are about to see why shortly. And then we have Spider Team here in his classic livery. We love to look at this. He's got this beautiful spider here on the front of his hood. Nice little black widow there. And let me tell you, Spider Team has been striking absolutely viciously this season, leading the standings coming into round 5. And then, of course, in the back of the pack, we have Marchie Boy in 13th place because, again, he did miss the race. So we're going to get our cameraman off track here, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so let's get these starting grid off here. So we lost a fallen member to our sim racing community last week, and GT Champions as a whole, through all 4 divisions in cooperation with the Ice Racing Group, decided to do a lap of honor in the memory of our fallen brother. So we're about to do that here for you guys, ladies and gentlemen. So if you could just remove your hats, take a moment with the sim racing community to honor our fallen brother, Michael Smith, aka Osquad Moto, ladies and gentlemen. So this is a pre-recorded lap of honor, ladies and gentlemen, because this is a replayed race, but we're going to take a moment of silence, and we are going to bring this back to you guys again here tonight, just to show our love and support to the Smith family, and much respect to Michael Smith, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much. May he race in peace. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen, for taking that moment with us to honor a fallen comrade. It is deeply, deeply regretful that we've lost Oz Quadmoto. Just finally lost his battle to lung cancer, ladies and gentlemen. And just absolutely at a loss for words. And although he might be gone in body, he's never gone in spirit. And his memory will always live on through the sim racing community. And thank you everyone for doing that. So without further ado, we are going to kick this race off, and one of the sponsors at the very top right center of the screen there, ladies and gentlemen, Hyundai. If anybody's looking for any graphic design needs, this is the guy. This is the guy. Alright, let's kick this off, shall we? Alright, we got a second red and the lights are green. Ladies and gentlemen, it is race time. Go! And Dubs takes off, but it looks like Noam gets a much better start there. So Noam is going to take the early race lead, but he's going to hold it coming through corner one, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see as he comes around. Very nice corner. Gets away from the pack. So Noam taking a very early lead on Dubs sitting here in second. We've got Average Viper sitting in third with Picteca right behind. So Viper and Noam grabbing a couple quick early positions. Moving through the field, we've got Walk in fifth. Toolshed in sixth. Make sure we got all the audio working, ladies and gentlemen. Pancake in seventh. We've got Stangman in eighth. The cars are very close together. We got Juan in ninth. We've got Calypso in 10th with Spider Team. I knew I was going to call him Spider-Man eventually this season. Looking to make a move there, but deciding to tuck back in. And Marchie Boy sitting in 12th place, and Ghost losing a couple positions early on in the race in 13th. So back to our race lead, ladies and gentlemen, with Noam. So this young man's a very new driver to the sport. First season here with GT Champions. He's been doing a fantastic job. So let's see how he handles the race lead with Average Viper looking to take that position away from him as quickly as possible. You can see Viper breaking away from the pack now, trying to chase Noam down. We've got Walk Motorsport and Picteca battling for third and fourth place. We've got Astro side by side with Stangman right now as well. Let's go with that battle as these guys are going to be side by side coming through the corner here. This is going to be for 7th position. Ooh, Astro eating a little bit of turf there, and Stangman going wide. It's number 3 wide coming out of the corner. Oh goodness, everybody gets through safe and sound, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my. So Devon Calypso benefiting a little bit there, getting ahead as well. Toolshed's now taking a look, decides no, a little bit of contact between him and Spider Team. Both drivers are all right there. Oh wow, Marchie Boy moving up into 11th. We've got Stangman here in 12th. And oh, look, what do we see? We had Ghost going off the track a little bit, going a little bit wide into the corner there, so he's getting back on track. Very, very crazy start here on our very first couple laps at the top of the short. So now we have Viper in the lead, getting around Noam when we're looking at that battle for 7th place. So Viper on lap 2 taking the lead from Noam and trying to get away from him as quickly as possible. So Noam still in second as they coming down. Oh, what happened there? We have Walk Motorsports losing it a little bit there. Let us go see what happened there, ladies and gentlemen. So coming around, just eating a little bit of grass, and ooh, he gets tapped there by Dubs coming out of the corner. Really unfortunate there as he just got a little too much of the grass spinning out in front of another driver and really nowhere for that driver to go. So giving them the tap there and spinning out off track there, really unfortunate. So back on track and good to go. So we do have Viper here in first place as well. We've got Noam here in second. We've got Picteca in third place. So top 3 drivers very early on in the race, ladies and gentlemen. Dubs sitting in 4th place. Dubs been struggling a little bit this season, so it'll be interesting to see how Dubs does in this race here, as he's looking very strong so far early on in the race, sitting in 4th place. We've got Formula One, who's been having a really solid set of races here over the last couple rounds as well, sitting in 5th. Toolshed, who has been starting to put his stamp on this season here, showing these drivers that he's in this battle here too as well, coming in with a podium finish last week. So he's going to be looking to do some damage here in the race tonight as well. We have Devon Calypso sitting in 7th place. Very consistent driver here this season, doing fantastic himself. And we do have a driver off the track. Who is that? It looks like, I believe it's Noam. Yes, it is Noam. And he comes back on track right in the racing line. Walk forced a little bit wide there. So Walk Motorsport having a couple unfortunate incidents coming out of that corner over the last 2 laps there. So hopefully everybody just gets settled into the race here, as we do see Walk trying to make a move on Noam here. Ooh, and they touch tires just a little bit coming into the corner here. So Walk is going to get around Noam here. We see Ghost now closing up on Noam here as well. So Walk taking 11th place from Noam. Is Ghost going to try and make a move on Noam here as well? He does look inside, doesn't quite have the space to do it, so he decides to back out and take the next inside line. And they're coming around the corner here. Noam gets a really good run on the outside, so able to hold the inside line, coming into the hairpin from Ghost here. Really good battle between our 12th, 13th place driver here, but Noam getting ahead of Ghost there, so Ghost is going to have to try again. Great stuff there by Noam. Some great defensive work there by our 12th place driver very early on in the race here. So drivers are looking very feisty tonight. That's what we love to see, ladies and gentlemen. And chat is just up there tonight. YouTube chat, what is up, YouTube? How's everybody doing? We see Dubs up in the chat saying, let's get this party started. We got Let's Go. We got Formula One in there with a what's up, man. Joshua, thank you for coming and stopping in, hanging out with us, chilling, saw racing, so I came to watch. Thank you so much for hanging out. We got a rest in peace, Michael, from Formula One. Absolutely, my brother. Race in peace. Race in peace, my friend. Race in peace. So Picteca now in 2nd place here. We have Dubs doing very well so far in 3rd place, but he is seeing some pressure from Toolshed, as we just seen a pass get done there. So let's just stick this with this for another second. Pardon me, ladies and gentlemen, as Formula One's taking a look on Dubs here now as well, but Formula One is going to be stuck to the outside. So let's just go back and take a look at that pass from Toolshed on Dubs here coming into this corner. So Dubs is opting to take the middle line there, and Toolshed is just like, thank you, and driving right on through. So fantastic stuff there by Toolshed to take 3rd place from Dubs. So Toolshed quickly going from 6th to 3rd place in just a lap here, ladies and gentlemen. So Dubs now back down to 4th place. We got Formula One just behind him in 5th here. Oh, that car is just so crisp and clean. Absolutely love that livery, ladies and gentlemen. Spider Team has made some massive amount of ground early on in the race here. Starting back in 11th place, now up to 6th position. And looking for yet another podium finish here this season. So we'll have to keep our eye on Spider Team as he continues his march. And I think we're going to stick with this little group here right now, as we can see a bunch of little battles developing here. So we've got 4 cars all just tucked right up, one toe to nose to tail here. Coming into corner 1, Dubs thinking about taking a look, but Toolshed got a really great exit there. Coming out of corner 1, and Dubs just didn't have an answer for that. So tucks back into Toolshed, looking for another opportunity. We can see Toolshed's not that far off 2nd place driver Picteca either, but we're going to stick with this middle group here, as we have 6-7 cars all very, very close to each other within a second here. So one little mistake by any one of these drivers, and you're going to be dropping down the field very, very quickly. As we see Devon take a look, we're going to actually see Stangman taking a look on Calypso here, looking down the inside, but that is going to give Calypso the inside line. No, Stangman does get the job done before coming into the next set of corners here. So, woo! You see Spider Team getting a little bit greasy on the grass there, making a little bit of contact with Formula One there. Glad to see both those drivers are okay, but we still have this battle between Devon Calypso and Stangman, and Spider Team getting a little bunched up in the final corner there, and Devon Calypso taking advantage of that, now jumping ahead 2 spots, and now side by side with Dubs coming into corner 1. So looking for, where's the spot here? Looking for 5th place here. And Astro's going to get a little racy here. He took a look too. Oh, a little bit of contact between Dubs and Spider Team there as well. So the drivers bumping and rubbing each other just a little bit here. But, I mean, look at this. 2 wide, 3 deep coming into the corners here. And really great job by Formula One and Devon Calypso there to go through there side by side. And just about touching there as we see 2 other groups behind them. Ladies and gentlemen, these drivers are going 2 wide around these tight corners in sequence. We got 2 groups of 2 wide coming through these corners. This is fantastic racing right now. Wow. Formula One's going to take a cutback. Is he going to get the move done here on Calypso? No, Calypso is going to keep that inside track, so Formula One has no choice. He has to sit behind. But we see some action happening here behind Astro now, getting ahead of Dubs. Spider Team ahead of Dubs and Astro. Dubs trying to hold the inside line. Astro went in really deep and hard on the brakes there. See Spider Team behind having to cut the corner a little bit there. Just so much traffic coming through these corners right now, ladies and gentlemen. These D4 drivers, they are not being patient. They all want these positions right now. This is a 90-minute race, ladies and gentlemen. These guys are driving like this is a 5-lap sprint race. This is fantastic racing. Great job by all these guys. Just a little bit of rubbins racing going on right now, but nothing too major. No drivers knocking each other around or anything like that. Just scraping some paint, leaving their mark on each other's cars here. So Dubs coming in. Did take a look on Pancake there. Let's get back up to Dubs here. Ooh, Pancake making a mistake, so Dubs getting through. Dubs, Stangman, and Spider Team getting through. There's so much happening right now, chat. So Astro losing 3 positions. We just finished saying that, chat. If you make one little mistake in this train, you're going to drop so many positions. So now we've got Stangman and Spider Team battling for 7th and 6th place here. Sorry, 7th and 8th place. My apologies. There is so much happening right now. What a fantastic start to this race, ladies and gentlemen. So Dubs leading this train coming into the final corner. This is a really, really tricky corner. It's and Dubs goes wide, so Dubs is going to lose some spots here now. So Stangman and Spider Team, Motorsports as well, getting ahead. Astro driving side by side with Dubs there. Marchie Boy looking like he was going to make that 3 wide. Coming into the final straightaway here, deciding just to sit back. We have Ghost just off in the background. We got Noam looking like he's struggling a little bit there in 13th place. So let's get back to our leader here, ladies and gentlemen. Average Viper is right now taking full advantage of what's happening behind him. This 6-7 car train behind our leader right now is just battling like crazy. And all that's doing is giving Average Viper the opportunity to start putting time between him and the rest of the pack. So Toolshed has managed to actually break the pack as well, now trying to chase Viper down. So we'll have to keep our eye on that, as both these drivers are in some nice, good, wide open, clean air here. Finally able to start putting down some laps. We have Picteca, who's now under pressure from Devon Calypso here as well for 3rd place. We see Formula One just off in the distance behind these guys. So looking like the pack's starting to break apart just a little bit here in the mid-pack. And we're going to see Calypso go inside on Picteca here and should easily get this done, as Picteca didn't look like he really fought that too much. So Devon Calypso now moving up into 3rd place, ladies and gentlemen. Man, these podium positions are switching like crazy tonight. Holy moly. So Picteca down into 4th place now, trying to chase Devon Calypso back down, with Formula One just sitting in 5th, trying to chase both those drivers down. He's kind of all by himself. He doesn't have a drafting buddy right now, so he really does need to catch up to those, to Picteca and Devon Calypso in front of him before the pack behind him starts to eat him up. And Stangman going really, really wide there, hitting the dirt. Ooh, opting to wait to get back on track. Really good racing sense there by Stangman. Just to allow those drivers to go back, as we see Ghost now coming around here as well. So Ghost is not quite going to get around. Oh yeah, Ghost does get around Stangman there. So losing 4 or 5, look like 6 positions there in that, going a little bit wide in the corner 1, catching the gravel there. So not the best of ideas to stop and make sandcastles during a race, ladies and gentlemen, sometimes. But he's back on track now and back for the fight. So Devon Calypso here in 3rd place. We have Picteca in 4th place, starting to close that gap just a little bit to Devon Calypso at the moment. We'll be keeping our eyes on that little battle. Formula One is doing everything he can to catch that group in front, but now we see Spider Team has broke away from the train as well and starting to try and chase Formula One down. So we're starting to see the drivers kind of pace each other out a little bit, but we still do have a nice little 4-way group here for 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th between Pancakes, Motorsports, Dubs, and Marchie Boy. So let's get on with Marchie Boy here. Let's get on board as these guys are kind of battling here. Cockpit view, of course. It's the OP view, ladies and gentlemen. So, with Marchie Boy trying to chase Dubs down, who's dropped a few spots now, down in 9th place. Everybody's... Oh, and Pancake making a mistake coming across the racetrack, and unfortunately for Marchie Boy, getting collected up there. Pancake giving that position back to Marchie Boy. Definitely did not mean to happen there. He just got a little bit wide there, hit the grass, and just came across the racetrack. There wasn't really a lot either one of those two drivers could do in that situation. Hopefully, Marchie Boy doesn't have any damage from that. But really unfortunate incident there, as we've seen a similar incident with Ghost and Picteca last race as well. One of the drivers just catching the grass and losing an edge and coming across and hitting the other driver. So Ghost now trying to chase Astro down, and Stangman trying to get back on this group here as well, as we've seen his a little bit of a mistake earlier, and Noam just trailing a little bit behind there in 13th position. So again, with our race leader, ladies and gentlemen, Average Viper, sitting currently third overall in the standings. We'll bring those standings up for you here in just a little bit, maybe a little closer to the pit window. We'll bring up the driver standings coming into round 5 here for you, ladies and gentlemen. So Viper is currently sitting third, though, just a point behind Ghost 45, who is sitting second, and of course trying to chase Spider Team down, who is currently sitting first overall in the standings after 4 rounds. So Calypso doing really great here in 3rd place, now starting to get away from the 4th, 5th, and 6th place drivers here, getting a little bit clean air himself as well, so able to start putting some consistent lap times down. You can see him going really deep into the corner there. You can see that tire smoke coming from the rear of the car there. So coming onto the brakes quite late coming into that corner to try and maximize as much of the speed coming into that downhill section of the corner as he can there. And then we've got Formula One now up in 4th place here with Picteca still on the back of him. So Formula One managing to find a way around Picteca as we're watching the mid-pack there. So Picteca now trying to chase Formula One down. Spider Team just in the back of these two drivers as well. So let's just take a quick peek down the track here. We have Walk in 7th. We've got Dubs now in 8th. We've got Astro Pancake in 9th. And it looks like we got a little bit of a battle brewing between Ghost 45 and Stangman here. So let's see what's going to happen here. Stangman looks inside. Ghost just closes off that apex. Is Stangman going to try and make another move here, as Ghost is not giving him a lot to work with at the moment? Ghost does go wide there, so he opens the door for Stangman. Looked like they touched just a little bit there. You see Ghost moving back across the racetrack. Sorry, giving you some space there. Ghost managing to get the move done coming into the inside of this sweeper, but going a little deep in the corner. So Stangman going to... Oh, and a little bit of contact between the two drivers again. So, Ghost struggling a little bit here today, keeping the car online. So Stangman going to look a little bit outside as Ghost kind of squeezes him off there a little bit and decides, you know what, I'm just going to keep that apex. So manages to keep Stangman from getting ahead of him for that quarter of a lap there. So that was an interesting little battle by these two drivers there, as they made contact with each other a couple of times there throughout that battle. And really all that's doing for both those drivers, unfortunately, is just costing them time. So we'll have to keep our eye on that as the race progresses. So Toolshed now looking like he's starting to gain on Viper a little bit here. Calypso in 3rd, trying to get away from the pack behind him here, with Formula One and Spider Team now managing to get around Picteca as well. So now Spider Team is chasing Formula One down. So a little bit of a glitch from Spider Team in behind Formula One there. We'll have to see if that was just a little bit of a spike in connection there real quick. Looks like the car is nice and settled down now. We always hate to see drivers disconnect from the race. So we have Spider Team here in 5th. We've got Picteca in 6th place here, coming across the finish line right now to start lap 15. Walk in 7th. We've got Dubs in 8th. We've got Pancake in 9th. We've got Ghost in 10th, with Stangman still on the back end of Ghost here with those teeth on the front grille of that Hyundai Genesis there, looking to chomp down some drivers today. So Stangman going to look inside of him here. He thought wasn't quite close enough, so Stangman's just going to try and get into that toe here. and wait to make a move when he has a chance. So you can see he gets right up on Ghost. He's going to look inside. Ghost sees it happening. He's like, nah, I'm going to shut the door. So closing the door on Stangman. There's Stangman sitting back behind, waiting very patiently, waiting for Ghost to make a mistake here. Ghost is going to hug that apex. He's going to go defensive here as well. He's going to absolutely hog that apex there from Stangman. Stangman's going to try and get a cutback here. Ghost sees that coming, decides to get in front of him there, stop any momentum he has there. And they're coming around this long, sweeping, good little battle here for 11th and 12th place right now. 10th and 11th place. Stangman is going to get a run on Ghost coming out of the corner here. So they are side by side coming into this braking zone here. Let's see what happens. Stangman has to stay wide. Great job by both the drivers to get around that really difficult corner without making any contact there. And then, of course, they're on that high-speed left to follow it. So now drag racing side by side here. Coming down the start-finish line. This is a battle for 10th and 11th, ladies and gentlemen. Look at these two fight for this position. And Ghost is just not giving him anything to work with. He's just keeping him on the outside of the racetrack there and decides to hug that apex. Gets a great run out of the corner because he did have the apex, forcing Stangman out really wide there. So Ghost playing every defensive tactic he can find in his bag of tricks right now. Really trying to hold Stangman off as he is making a big push for 10th place. And we see a little bit of a gap between Ghost and Stangman there, so let's get back into the field as that battle has settled back down. We have Marchie Boy and Noam in 12th and 13th, so we are with Viper, our leader, current leader. He's been leading the race for about 14 laps of the race now, ladies and gentlemen. There's some great chat going up in YouTube here. Love that, love that. So Toolshed here in second place. Welcome everybody hanging out on YouTube tonight. I hope everybody's enjoying the broadcast this evening. Toolshed looking very, very strong here in second place with a little Family Guy tribute on the back and front of the cars here. I've just noticed that. Love that. Very nice, very nice. We've got Devon Calypso here in third place with that really cool looking design on his cars here this season. A little bit abstract, but very clean and crisp. It looks really, really good on that car. And, ooh, we got a battle for fourth place here as I'm sitting here gawking at liveries. We got a little juicy battle between Formula One and Spider Team. And I'm not sure what happened there as we see Spider Team is having maybe a connection issue. We did see him lag a little bit earlier on in the race here. So he is in AFK mode right now, ladies and gentlemen. So Picteca grabbing that position from Spider Team seems to be back now. So whatever issue Spider was having there seems to be corrected at the moment as he is back behind the wheel here. So now he's got to try and gain that position back from Picteca here. So really unfortunate for Spider Team. They're losing that position there due to whatever the issue he had there was. We got Walk in 7th, and we've got Dubs and Astro looking like they're starting to get closed up here. So maybe a little battle happening between the two drivers here. Let's just keep an eye on this as we come into corner 1. Astro is going to go inside. He's going to take a look here. He just wasn't close enough to actually try and make a move there. So going to tuck back in behind Dubs here. And Dubs is having a really solid race so far, ladies and gentlemen. Sitting in 8th place, starting on pole, losing a few positions early on in the race, but seems to have really settled in here now. And looking at those lap times, looking very consistent here as well. So having a great run here so far today. And Pancake trying to chase Dubs back down. We've got Ghost now in behind him. So Ghost managing somewhere along the way to open up that gap from Stangman behind there. As we've seen, those two were battling pretty hard for 2 or 3 laps there. Early on in the race, maybe a little bit of questionable driving by Ghost there, perhaps, in a couple of those shots. So we'll have to review that too as well. So Viper here in first place with Toolshed all over him. Toolshed got in a fantastic run coming out of corner 1. I didn't want to switch there because I kind of seen that happening. But Toolshed got a really great run out of corner 1 and just slingshots himself past Viper for the lead of the race. So we do have a new race leader here tonight on lap 19, ladies and gentlemen, and it is Toolshed. So Toolshed is looking very, very racy tonight, ladies and gentlemen. If we just take a look over on the right-hand side of the screen, those lap times, very, very fast, consistent pace from Toolshed here tonight. And we drop down to Viper. Viper's showing a little bit of lap times kind of bobbing up and down over the last couple laps. So that's allowed Toolshed to close that gap up and get around him there. And Calypso's still sitting in third place, and his lap times are looking very, very clean and crisp, nice and consistent here as well today. We have Formula One looking really strong in fourth place here as well still. And again, just a great group of lap times here from all these drivers up front right now. Spider Team in fifth place, managing to get around Picteca there. And I'm not sure what happened there. It looked like he got a really good run coming into the corner there. Let's go take a look at that again real quick. As we've seen Spider Team make a move on Calypso there. I'm not sure what happened. Oh, I think Calypso made a bit of a mistake there. And Spider Team came over that hill blind to see what was going on the bottom of the hill there, and making a little bit of contact with Devon at the bottom of the hill, of course allowing him to keep his position there, but making the pass coming around the final corner there. So Spider Team now moving up into fourth as Devon had made a mistake there. And losing a spot to fifth place. So Picteca now sitting in sixth place here, doing very well himself. Looking pretty good here tonight. We see Dubs and Astro battling in the background here. So let's get on board with this battle. As Astro has really been working hard at trying to get back on the Dubs here to try and get that eighth place away from Dubs, as we've seen over the last 2 or 3 laps here. But Walk is also closing up on Picteca here as well. So we got a couple of little battles brewing here in the mid-pack again. So really great stuff. And Walk actually gets inside on Picteca here. But Picteca's going to have the inside of this long sweeping corner. So is Walk going to be able to stay... Oh, Walk's going to have a really great run on the outside of that corner and actually gets ahead of Picteca there. So Walk doesn't need to worry about holding that inside coming into the final corner here, as he's just ahead of Picteca coming in. Looks like Dubs is going to go around Picteca going into the final corner there, and Astro's going to take a look as well. So Picteca not really making a mistake there, just didn't quite get as good a run into the corners as the other 2 drivers ahead of him did there, and dropping down a couple of spots. So now down into 8th place, Astro trying to catch up to him. Ghost absolutely loving what he's seeing in front of him right now. All these drivers battling, giving him a chance to try and close the gap up, as his times are quite a bit off the leader's pace right now. So seeming to struggle a little bit here today. Stangman now also trying to catch up as well, and having a little bit of a rough lap time there himself as well. So some of these drivers are struggling, maybe with the track or maybe with the car. We're not sure what it is, but that's racing, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes the driver just isn't comfortable with a track or a car necessarily, and they just don't have maybe as great a race as they're looking for. It happens. It's racing. It's the way she goes. That's why we have such a great variety of racetracks and car combos here at GT Champions throughout the season, to give all the drivers a fair chance at winning these races. So each driver has a strength and a weakness, right? So the way GT Champions is set up, it really does play on a driver's weaknesses and strengths as a driver and as a racer. So, and it's been showing so far this season as well in GTC4, but not only GTC4, but all the divisions across GT Champions Season 3 World Cup Championship this season. We're seeing a lot of different drivers finishing up on the podium throughout the season, and really seeing the fields kind of mixing up from one race to the next. So we're actually seeing quite a bit of that as we're moving through the rounds here at GT Champions, seeing where the drivers may struggle with maybe a car or a track combination compared to a previous round or an upcoming round. So really keeping things very, very interesting in the standings so far with the way that it's set up this season. It's absolutely loving this, keeping it very nice and racy. And we see Spider Team is still trying to chase Formula One back down here. Spider Team is absolutely starting to cook here, as we see him have a 112.9 there last lap, and he's starting to cruise pretty good here. So we're really closing up on Formula One. So we're going to stick with this here, as he's going to try and get nice and tucked up, get in that slipstream, and try to make a move going into corner 1 here. So let's stick with, let's get on roof cam here. Well, our hood cam here while we watch Spider Team try to chase Formula One down here. I actually kind of suspected that Spider Team was maybe going to try and use that slipstream and get a slingshot inside there to make that move on corner one, but opting to just sit behind Formula One here for the time being. Now, is this just a little bit of a tactic, put some pressure on the driver in front and hope he just makes a mistake and make the pass nice and easy? Maybe Spider Team just doesn't want to have to battle for... Ooh, Spider Team looks like he's actually still having a little bit of a connection issue there. As we've seen a little bit of lag there from Spider Team. As we've seen him jump forward and backwards just slightly a little bit there. So maybe that's playing into Spider Team's push against Formula One here at the moment. Not actually sure which one of these two drivers is lagging. So let's go back to our cameraman views here and try to figure out which one of these two drivers is actually having a little bit of a lag issue there. As we've seen contact made between Formula One and Spider Team, but the cars weren't actually close enough to make contact. Again, that's just a little bit of a lag issue. And we've been seeing a little bit of that recently as the season's been progressing here on GT Sport. Just, I'm not sure why. I think it's just because GT7 is about to release. And of course, we're all excited for the release of GT7. Are we not, ladies and gentlemen? Who isn't excited for Gran Turismo 7? It's definitely way overdue for the next addition to the series. So we're all looking forward to that. So I think GT Sport's just suffering a little bit due to the fact that GT7 is very, very close on the horizon here now. Potentially just some resources pulled away from GT Sport at the moment to get ready for the launch of the newest version of Gran Turismo coming out. So Locke sitting in 6th place here, 60. We're missing a driver, ladies and gentlemen. We've lost Picteca, ladies and gentlemen. So it looks like one of the drivers has potentially had a connection issue in the race here and fallen out of the race. So unfortunately, again, ladies and gentlemen, this is esports, and that is the E part to the esports right there. Electronic failure, unfortunately. We are on online connections with racers from all over the world, as we can see here. Toolshed from Australia, Viper from the United Kingdom. We have Formula One, and Spider Team just making a move on Formula One there. No way, I'm spinning out in front of those two while that was happening. Let's back this up and take a look. So, Spider Team and Formula One side by side coming around the final corner. Spider Team does have the inside track coming into corner one here and just gets that job done. Great job by both those drivers not to get involved with Noam, as well as he was made a mistake in corner one there, spinning out in front of the two drivers. So, a change of position there from Spider Team to now 3rd place, and Formula One dropping down to 4th. So, we were just talking about the spread of drivers from all around the world here. We've seen a beautiful move by Spider Team to get onto a podium position here about a quarter of the way through the race. A third of the way through the race, ladies and gentlemen, as we are 30 minutes in now. So Spider Team now starting to drive away from Formula One here as well. So Devon Calypso from Belgium here as well. And then another Australian driver. We have Dubs from America. We've got Ghost 45 from Canada. Pancakes from the States, Stangman from Canada. We have Marchie Boy from Australia, Noams from Canada, and of course we did see Picteca in the lobby a little bit earlier. He is from Mexico, ladies and gentlemen. So we do have a very large spread of drivers from all over the world, and of course when you have drivers from that far apart from each other, unfortunately, internet lag does play a factor into the races sometimes. So it's really unfortunate to see Picteca losing connection there. I'm assuming that is what the case is. So Viper in 2nd place. Looking like the drivers are starting to settle in here now. As we're, like I said, a third of the way through the race here. The drivers are finally starting to settle down here in GTC4 today, as we've seen lots of really hard-fought battles very early on in the race here, and drivers just kind of settling in. So Dubs in 7th, Ghost in 8th. We've got Astro in 9th. Stangman back in 10th here. We've got Marchie Boy in 11th, and Noam sitting in 12th. And we can just see Walk Motorsports there coming up in behind Noam. So Noam's definitely having a tough race here today, but again, keeping it on track and just putting in his time. Every lap is a lap of experience for all these drivers, so no matter where you finish on the racetrack, at the end of the day, it's all time and practice and experience on track, and it really, really does matter at the end of the day, moving forward in your sim racing career. So, Toolshed is looking very fantastic. Those lap times are just super quick, super consistent, and he is starting to pull a pretty decent gap on Viper. I mean, we're looking at about a 4 to 5 second gap there between the two drivers at the moment. Spider Team now in some nice clean wide open air here as well, so we'll see what he can do with that clean air. Formula One trying to chase Spider Team down here as well. And then we've got Calypso in 5th. The drivers starting to spread out from each other here a little tiny bit. I don't really have any drivers on track really close enough for a battle at the moment. So let's do a onboard with our driver, our race leader, Toolshed, for a lap around Autopolis Short, ladies and gentlemen. And we will just let you guys listen to the car. Absolutely fantastic onboard lap around the top of the short here in Japan, ladies and gentlemen, by our race leader, Toolshed. And ladies and gentlemen, that onboard shot by our race leader is brought to us by Metropolis. Alright, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So, as we get back from our beautiful Metropolis ad there, huge shout out to Metropolis, one of the sponsors here at GT Champions World Cup. We have a nice little battle brewing between Dubs and Walk Motorsports, and we see Ghost just off in the distance behind these drivers, and Astro just behind Ghost here. So we got a nice little four-way battle potentially developing here in the mid-pack. As we just come from watching that amazing video provided by Metropolis, ladies and gentlemen. You can find out more about Metropolis at www.metropolis.com. And again, to all the other sponsors as well. Detailing Group, of course, being the main sponsor of the series here. And you can find Detailing Group at www.detailinggroup.com. Pride of the Dragon, same thing, www.prideofthedragon.com. And that is an event that's put on by our Division 2 broadcaster Tatiana. They do this every year. It's a really fantastic event, and if you're a car enthusiast and you like to hang out with other car enthusiasts, you got to go check out the site for sure. And then of course High Pre, as you can see the top center right hand part of the screen here, ladies and gentlemen, who provides all the amazing graphics we get to see and watch here on GT Champions. So huge shout out to all our sponsors, and just so thankful that we're able to provide great content such as GT Champions to all the viewers out there. So let's get back to how things are shaking up here as we are starting to get towards the pit window. So let's drop the banner here. Alright, so tool shed starting on the medium tire. Tires are looking pretty good. Fuel is just a little over a quarter tank, and we're about 2.5 minutes in towards our pit window here. We have Viper also starting on the medium tire, and his fuel is looking really good there. He's at about a third of a tank of gas still in that Hyundai Genesis. Spider team here in third place on the medium tire. His medium's looking very, very good, and fuel is looking very, very good as well. We have Formula One sitting in fourth place on the medium tire, and lots of fuel. So Calypso here as well, also starting on the medium tire here today. His fuel's a little bit less than some of the drivers in front. Tires are a little bit more worn, so as we can see here, ladies and gentlemen, tire wear is definitely a factor in the race, more so than fuel consumption today. So Walk's medium tires looking fairly good, a little bit less fuel than the rest of the drivers we've seen so far. Moving back to field here, we have Dubs in 7th place. Also on the medium tire, but Dubs also struggling with some front aero and front left suspension damage, so might explain a little bit why he's fallen to the middle of the pack here early on in the race as well. Fuel looking really good. We have Ghost now in 8th place here. Same thing, starting on the medium tire. He's also fighting front aero and front right suspension damage, sorry ladies and gentlemen, so that might explain why he's struggling a little bit here early on in the race as well, having to fight a little bit of damage on the car. We have Pancake opting to start on the soft tire, and not looking great, but not looking bad, and lots of fuel. And Stangman here in 10th on the medium tire, lots of fuel in the tank. Tires look really good as well. And Marchie Boy also on the medium tire. Tires look fantastic, and plenty of fuel to go. And Noam here also starting on the soft tire, looking really good on the soft tire actually, and plenty of fuel there in that Hyundai Genesis. So there's our tire and fuel situations for our drivers throughout the field here, as we are 30 seconds away from the pit window. Morning, Johnny. How's everybody doing? Rockefeller Racing in the house, going great stuff. Spider team saying, oh, wheel disconnected. Oh, okay. High pre confirming it was an internet connection issue. Dub saying GT7 pre-ordered. Oh, I love that. Seeing the guys just talking, having a great time over in the GT Champions YouTube, ladies and gentlemen. Just love that. Love that. Love to see the community hanging out, enjoying a good race. So, Toolshed here in first place. And I would suspect we're probably going to see most of these drivers run as far into the pit window as they can, just to try and minimize the amount of laps that they do have to put on the soft tires. As we can see, the tire wear is pretty significant on some of these cars on the medium tires. So, tire wear is definitely aggressive on these cars. And you see Dub struggling a little bit there. We see Ghost struggling a little bit there as well on the tires. Damage to the car might be factoring in a little bit there as well. We have Stangman here now in 9th, as we do see Marchie Boy and Pancake pull into the pits here. So we're going to sit with... where are we at here? Where's Astro? Astro's coming out on that medium tire, looking fantastic. So they're just fueling up that beautiful Michael Smith honor livery car right there. A couple of the drivers opting to not change their race car liveries and opting to run the honor livery for the race today. So that's really fantastic to see. And of course, Marchie Boy being a member of ICER, ladies and gentlemen, where Oz Quad Moto and Michael Smith was also a part of. I'm sure this means a lot to him today, so out there just driving, and I'm sure that he's in his thoughts, and just really looks good. It's a great stuff, really great job by ICER Group and GT Champions there to collaborate and make something happen really quick there, so we were able to just show the Smith family our support, and will always be etched in GT Champions history books as driver 213, so really fantastic stuff there. And just a great homage to a very, very, very wonderful human being who was just taken very too young and too early. And our hearts go out to the family, ladies and gentlemen. So back to the racing here. This is what we're here for, obviously, as well. to see some good old racing. So Spider Team here in 3rd place. We've got Formula One in 4th. Devon Calypso currently in 5th. Of course, these are going to change a little bit as these drivers do take their rounds of pit stops. We have Walk in 6th. We've got Dub still in 7th. Ghost still in 8th. We've got Stangman in 9th place. We've got Pancake in 10th. Marchy Boy in 11th. And Noam in 12th place. So only 2 drivers so far opting to pit. Not too surprised to see that Astro pit quite early into the pit window due to the fact that he was running that soft tire. So probably wanted to get some good rubber back under the car and start to make some time back up on track. Toolshed is just looking so strong today. I don't know if anybody's going to have what it takes to catch this man today. He is absolutely cooking. Viper can see him though. He hasn't pulled far enough away from these drivers to where you know, it's not possible to gain that time if Toolshed does make a mistake here. Viper can see Toolshed at the end of the straightaway there, so he's still within eyesight on that straightaway. So, as a race car driver, if you can see that other car, you can pass that other car. You just got to find a way to catch him, and then you got to find a way to pass him. But if you can see him, you can pass him. That's the mentality you got to have as a race car driver. So Formula One here in 4th place. Again, having a very solid race coming into corner 1 here right now. Ooh, almost turned in just a little bit too early there. We see Devon Calypso right behind him in 5th place. Now coming around that corner as well. And he got on the throttle quite early there. We actually seen the understeer in that car as he got on the throttle just a little bit early. Walk coming around there very quickly. Dubs coming around the corner very quickly. Ghost now coming around the corner as well. Stangman coming around corner 1 here. All the drivers making pretty short work of that. Pancake's just coming up to start finish line here. We'll give him his corner 1 here as well. We see Noam now in the pits, ladies and gentlemen. We'll get to Noam here just in a second. So great corner there by Astro as well. We got Marchy Boy opting not to pitch yet either. So Noam just coming around that first corner there. We wanted to get that shot in for the viewers there. And we got Marchy Boy just coming up to it right now. It's a really tricky corner because it's a blind corner going down a hill. So you got to make sure you're on the brakes early enough. And you got to, I guess, kind of have a visual marker on where your turn point is for that corner. If you turn too early, you're going to end up in the grass, and if you turn too late, you're going to end up in the sand on the other side of the corner when you come out of it. So, really, really tricky corner. There's a couple of corners. The corner we see Toolshed going around, the final second last corner here, it's a really, really sharp hairpin, but it's almost more than a hairpin. It's like a 210-degree corner, and we see Toolshed now coming into pit lane here, so getting ready to jump onto his soft tire here. Benjo up in chat. How you doing, Benjo? Massive shout out to Benjo, ladies and gentlemen. Designer of the Honor liveries. So we're just gonna stick with Toolshed for his pit lane here. Get a good shot of that livery. See where he comes out behind the rest of the drivers, and we can see him just coming out in behind Formula One, his Spider Team there. And I think Devon Calypso. I'm not sure why. Oh no, that's not Devon Calypso. I believe that's Noam in between there. So our race leader for the time being Average Viper here again. He still has to make his pit as well. We have Spider Team here, still has to make his pit stop. And we do see a couple of drivers in pit lane here now. So we do have Ghost 45 making his pit stop. And we do have Stangman coming in for his stop. You see the damage on the front end of Ghost's car there. Obviously, that would be the reason for the suspension damage on this car that we saw just a little bit earlier. So, just get a really good look at that livery there. Rest in peace, Michael Smith, 1978 to 2022, ladies and gentlemen, for only 44 years of age. And on board with Stangman here as he's just coming out of pit lane here as well. And he looks like he's just coming out ahead of Marchie Boy there. And Marchie Boy and Stagman trying to swap positions a little bit here, but we're going to get on with Spider Team here as he's getting his pits in. This is the best chance to really get a look at all the liveries in full detail during a race, because it just gives the best camera angles. So try to get all the liveries in here today as these drivers are making their pit stops. The Spider Team coming out. I believe it was Juan came in with Spider Team, so I believe he'll be the next driver to come out of pit lane here. Just a really simple, clean cut design here this evening for Formula One. We've got Dubs here. I believe Calypso would have came in ahead of Dubs. You see that ICE Racing Group decal on the roof of Devon Calypso's car there. See, we didn't see that during the race. And we got Dubs here as well. Dubs always a massive supporter, cancer supporter, and of course military supporter. So Dubs doing a fantastic job, ladies and gentlemen, here on the racetrack. Dubs is a controller driver, and I believe he's the only controller driver in the series. I could be mistaken by that, though. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Don't quote me on that, ladies and gentlemen. So with Viper here, as he's making his pit stop, we got to get the double homage to the High Prix liveries here, as we don't have one of the Picteca High Prix drivers in the race because we lost Pictecas. So Viper gets all the livery love here today, and a little bit of GT45 gaming on the roof there, so that's pretty cool. Didn't notice that before either, so huge shout out to my boy Picteca there. Love that, brother. Thank you so much. Spider Team just coming out in behind Viper in third place here. So Spider Team and Viper are very, very close. So Toolshed does retain the race lead, with Viper and Spider Team close behind in second and third place. So I believe all the drivers have made their stops now. I'm just going to go through and check. Yes, it looks like all the drivers have done so. Alright, so that means we're going to put our juicy banner back up. I know, I'm sorry, Chad, I'm sorry. Alright, so we got a little battle brewing here for what looks like 7th, 8th, and 9th between Astro, Dubs, and Pancake. And we just seen Dubs make a really good move on the inside of Astro there. Ghost tries to follow Dubs through. Ghost stuck on the outside coming around these corners. If Ghost can stick with Astro here, he is going to have the inside line here. So Ghost does hug that curb, gets around Astro. Astro maybe looking for a cutback here. Just wasn't able to get on the power quite as well as Ghost in front. So Ghost just able to hold Astro off for position there. So Ghost does get 8th from Astro. Dubs also taking a position from Astro. So Astro losing 2 positions there to the 7th and 8th place driver now currently in front of him. So is Ghost going to try and make a move on Dubs? We've seen him take a look on the inside there. So let's follow this battle up the straight here. Astro may be able to get back into this battle before the end of the straightaway here, as he is in the slipstream, and we see Stangman just off the back end of this here as well. So coming into corner 1, is there anything gonna happen here? Ghost just takes a look. He does get a good run here though, so he is gonna try and get a run on Dubs. So is Ghost gonna get the move done here? He should. He does have the inside line coming around the next corner here. Dubs gives lots of space there. Ghost just drives right on through and continues on. Dubs now trying to apply the pressure back. Tucks back in behind Ghost there. Looking like he got just a little bit loose there, so not able to respond through that middle sector. Ooh, coming around the corner a little bit sideways there is Dubs. Really great job to keep the car under control. Not losing a position there. Oh, you can really hear those tires screeching around that corner. Those drivers are absolutely pushing those cars. We have Astro just behind these guys in 9th place, and Stangman now making a push on Astro here as well for 9th place. So a great little battle happening in the mid-pack here. Oh, and Dubs goes sideways. Dubs goes sideways. Oh, what happened to Dubs there? Let's take a look. So Ghost and Dubs coming into the corner here. And looking like Dubs just opted to try and get a little bit of a wider line to get a faster exit there. And just went a little too far outside. Just caught the edge of the track. So Dubs losing a couple positions to Astro and Stangman there. So now we have Ghost in 7th. We've got Astro in 8th. We've got Stangman in 9th. We've got Dubs in 10th. Behind them is Marchie Boy in 11th and Noam in 12th place. So that was a great little shuffle of positions there in the mid-pack by those drivers. So that was a fun little battle. Yeehaw, chat. That was great stuff. So, let's check our standings out real quick, ladies and gentlemen. So, these are the standings as of the end of round 4. So, as we can see, Spider Team, who right now currently sits in 3rd place, is in the lead with, is that 89 points? 69 points? 69 points. So, having a pretty good sizable lead right now over the rest of the field. The closest driver to him is sitting in 2nd place, which is Ghost 45, who right now currently is sitting in 7th place. So not sitting in the best of positions here right now, sitting 2nd in the standings with 55 points. And then we have Viper sitting just a point behind Ghost in 3rd place. And Viper is currently sitting in 2nd. So if the drivers finish in the positions we're sitting in right now, there is definitely going to be a massive shuffle in that top 3. And then Devon Calypso sitting just behind those two in 4th place with 46 points. And Devon having a strong race here as well, currently sitting in 5th place right now, looking to gain some points on a couple of these drivers as well. And then we have Toolshed sitting just behind these drivers with 41 points and currently leading the race right now. So Toolshed really looking strong this race and looking to try and secure this win and get a really good jump in the point standings here, as a couple of these drivers struggling today. Really good chance for Toolshed to make those points up. And then we have Marchie Boy just behind there with 39 points. Marchie Boy struggling a little bit here today, sitting in the back, near the back of the pack here in 11th place. And then we have Formula One, who's sitting 7th in the point standings. And Formula One currently having a great race here as well at Autopolis, sitting in 4th place. So, again, if these drivers finish exactly the way these standings sit in the top 10 here right now, there is going to be a big shuffle in the standings moving into round 6. It's going to be really, really interesting to see how the race develops here. And then we have Astro sitting in 8th place, who's currently sitting in 9th right now in the race. Stangman in 9th in points, just ahead of Astro right now in 8th, so maybe a little bit of a swap in position there. And then Walk Motorsports rounding out that top 10 in points, and Walk is currently sitting in 5th place right now. Actually just taking that position from Devon Calypso, so I'm not sure what happened there. Devon Calypso must have made a mistake there, as we see Ghost is starting to close in on him here. So let us get that out of the view of the race, of course, ladies and gentlemen. We don't want you guys to miss the great stuff that's going on here. So Ghost is trying to now chase Devon Calypso down. So Ghost looking like he's going to try and start moving up this field a little bit here and try to get to that march to the podium. But I just don't know. These guys got some distance on those top 5 drivers right now. So Ghost does look inside on Calypso here, manages just to hold that curve, so negating that cutback. Again, Ghost showing some very defensive driving here today. So far on the track from what we've seen today, managing to steal that position from Calypso. So currently sitting 6th now. Calypso is 7th. Stangman now trying to get on the back of this little battle that was developing and closing in, as we can see there. So Calypso hasn't let Ghost go anywhere yet. He still is right there. And we have a battle brewing between Dubs and Pancake here for 9th and 10th place. So let us see what happens there. Dubs, I'm not sure what was going on there. Maybe having a small little issues. We see him just slightly ghosting there. So Pancake able to get the move done there. And looking like Dubs having some form of a small issue here as well. So losing position due to whatever form of issue he's having there. As we see the car just slightly ghosting off and on. He has no penalties, so and that's actually allowed Stangman? Who's that other car? I think we got some lap traffic mixed up in here. It's Toolshed starting to lap the field here is what's going on. So we see Toolshed just getting around Dubs there. So Toolshed's flying. Toolshed is absolutely flying. Oh no, as we see him catching up to the back of the pack there, but Astro on that, taking the racing line, getting around that corner there, and Toolshed just coming up with too much speed, had to bail out there, and spinning out a little bit. So where's Spider Team and Viper in this? Battling right now, so a little bit of contact coming into the final corner. This is for P2. Ooh, Spider Team taking a big cut on the corner there. And opting to give that position back right there, as he knew that wasn't a very good corner on his part right there. So I'm actually really shocked that he didn't get a penalty for that. But instead of making that pass, he opted just to hit the brake a little bit there and make sure Viper maintained second place after the final corner. So really great job by Spider Team there to realize that he made a mistake there and race on. Spider Team now trying to close back up to Viper for P2. So let's go through the field. Let's go see if we have any battles brewing anywhere else here. We do have a little mini battle between Stangman and Calypso brewing here. So Stangman taking a look inside, coming into the final corner here. Kind of has position, but kind of not. Just not able to get that done there. So he's going to tuck back in behind Calypso. As you can see, Ghost just up ahead of these two drivers there in 6th place. So Stangman now up in the slipstream of Calypso here. Is he going to try and make a move into corner 1? He's going to take a little peek, opting to just sit behind, make the corner nice and safe. So we are going to keep our eye on this little battle for 7th and 8th place here as well. And we still have a little battle kind of sort of brewing here between Dubs and Pancake. As actually Dubs gets a good run there. He's going to make the move on the inside. Is he going to be able to make this stick coming into the corner? He does have inside line here, but that is going to give a chance for Astro to try and get a cutback. Can he get the cutback? No. Dubs played the perfect line there. He absolutely took the next apex away before Astro even had a shot at trying to get a run on him there. So Dubs getting position on Pancake, moving back up into 9th place. Pancake dropping back to 10th there. We have Marchie Boy in 11th, and again Noam in 12th place, ladies and gentlemen. You can see him with the 4-ways on there. Clearly struggling a little bit here this evening, but again, still on track, still putting his reps in, man. Much respect, brother. So Toolshed looking very strong as he is now catching up on our 9th, 10th place driver, Pancake here again. So Toolshed now on the march to lap the field here, I guess, is we are at lap 48. We still have 30 minutes remaining of this race. And Toolshed is already starting to make his way through the back half of this field. So, be interesting to see if lap traffic is going to play a factor in the race here or not. As you can see that the lap traffic does not ghost here at GT Champions. These drivers do have to play nice and find a way around each other. And whoa, Toolshed getting a little bit aggressive there. Pancake looked like he was just laying off, letting him have the space there. Toolshed just cut in a little bit too much there, but no harm, no foul there. No drivers, losing the racetrack or anything. But again, it is up to the faster driver, the faster car, to find a safe way around the lap traffic. The lap traffic does a really fantastic job here in GTC4 to move out of the way when safe to do so, but they also do understand that they are allowed to hold their line in these corners as well. So great job here by all the drivers as we have Viper and Spider Team just one behind another here. Spider Team doesn't look like he's really too in a hurry to try and make this move on Viper right now. It looks like Spider Team's just comfortable sitting behind Viper here at the moment, save a little bit of tires, save a little bit of fuel, and just wait to make that move a little closer to the end of the race, perhaps. So we do have, again, we have Noam there kind of coming into play a little bit as we're coming into corner 1 here. We've seen Viper going around him there and Spider Team going around there. And all 3 drivers getting around corner 1 nice and safe and sound. Really great stuff by all the drivers here today. Again, ladies and gentlemen, we have Formula 1 still sitting very solid in 4th place. Looking very, very strong tonight again. Walk Motorsports looking very racy here tonight, sitting in 5th place. Ghost managing to find his way up into 6th. It wasn't looking too solid there early on in the race, but now without a damaged race car, it looks like he's starting to try and put some time down here. Lap times in the 112, 113 range is what we're seeing most of the front runners on the soft tire doing at the moment. We are going to go look at that, actually. We haven't really shouted that out yet. Dubs here as well, showing good solid pace in those softs here too in the mid-pack here. So should start making some ground up on some of these drivers as we're just kind of looking through to see what kind of times these drivers are putting in. Marchie Boy putting in some solid work here on those softs as well. So our leader is doing very solid 112s, the odd 113. Viper and Spider Team also into the 112, low 113s right now. So showing very, very great pace here, all three of these drivers. And then Formula One is just a hair off of the pace of these guys with those 113s, low 114s. Same thing with Walk here, just dropping a 112 last lap. So actually gaining a little bit of time on our fourth place driver there. And goes solidly in those 113s right now. So maybe he can make some more ground up yet. We'll have to see. Lots of race left. Anything can happen. We do see Devon still under pressure from Stangman here as well. So Stangman potentially doing the same thing as Spider Team we see up in third place there. Just kind of sitting behind right now. Saving the tires, saving the fuel, letting the driver in front do all the work, and then let them burn their tires out and make that push near the end of the race. So I guess we'll have to keep our eyes on this as well as this develops throughout the ending of the race. Dubs here in 9th place trying to catch those guys. We have Astro and Tennis trying to catch Dubs. Marchie Boy on the march in 11th here. Noam continuing on in 12th place. And you can see those four ways on there. I think that's just to let the drivers know that he's struggling and just to let him know that he's moving a little bit slow today. So we see Toolshed now catching up on our 9th place driver, Dubs here. So Toolshed's very, very making short work of this field today. Toolshed is on an absolutely tear of a pace. And then we have Viper and Spider Team now just kind of making their way up to Astro Pancake, who's behind Dubs. So there is a very significant gap between our leader and our second and third place drivers here at the moment. But is lap traffic again going to play a factor into this race, as the lap traffic isn't necessarily really that far off the pace of the leader, so he is probably going to have to work a little bit to get these to get the move done around these drivers. So again, Spider Team and Viper here, second and third place, nose to tail. They're just hanging out, having a great time, having a cup of tea, and really nobody really putting any, just chilling. Spider Team's like, yo, hey, I'm here. So, I mean, this is what Viper's been seeing for about the last half a dozen, 7 or 8 laps now, is this. This is all Viper's seeing in his rearview mirror right now, is this red car all over him. Not trying to make a move, but he's there. And then we go back to Spider Team, and this is what Spider Team's looking at, like, okay, when are you going to make that mistake, Viper? When are you going to make that mistake, buddy? I'm waiting for you to make that mistake. But these guys are coming up to lap traffic here, so it's going to be interesting to see how this plays out as the second and third place driver do come up to Astro Pancake in 10th place here. Ooh, Spider is still having a little bit of a connection issue here by the looks of it. It looks like Spider is struggling a little bit with that connection in this race. Viper getting a good run there, now in the slipstream of Astro in 10th place here. So is Astro going to just give this position up, or is he going to make Viper work for it? It doesn't look like he's just going to give it up easily here. He does break a little bit extra into the corner there, does give the position to Viper. So we did see Astro break a little extra there coming up to the corner, waiting until Viper got through. As soon as Viper got through, that's when we seen Astro cut into that corner. We see Spider now making a move on the inside of Astro there. He doesn't want to wait too long to get around him there, as he doesn't want to lose the back end of Viper here. Super important for Spider Team right now, ladies and gentlemen, to stay glued to Viper's rear bumper at this point in the race. So Formula One in 4th place, but we do see Walk is starting to make some ground up on Formula One here. So Walk Motorsports absolutely starting to close the gap on Formula One here, trying to get that 4th place, hopefully from him by the end of the race. We see Ghost in 6th place here, just coming around the corner. We just seen Walk come through. So Ghost also trying to push. Ooh, getting a little greasy there. He manages to keep it together. That was dangerous. We got Devon Calypso here in 7th place. Depending where you go off on that first corner, it can really end in bad news. It can really just end in bad news. So Stangman still on the back of Calypso here. Not quite as close on the back of Calypso, but still definitely there. We have Dubs just off the back of these two, just about 2.5 seconds behind. And we see, I believe that is Toolshed just behind Dubs there as well. So Astro, Marchi, Noam. Let's give it our race leader here as he is starting to catch up to Dubs here. Let's see if this is gonna. It's still taking him a while, but I mean, honestly, that's the only battle we have going on track right now. So a battle of the leader versus a back marker at the moment. We do have Stagman and Calypso here. Stagman again trying to close back up to Devon here. He may very well do so actually by the end of the straightaways. It looks like he's just in that slipstream. And we can see just off and behind these two, you can see Dubs and Toolshed right behind Dubs there, our race leaders. So, ooh, Devon getting a little bit wide there. Is that going to be enough for Stagman to get the position there? Devon may have some dirty tires coming into this corner here, so we'll have to see if he can keep that nice inside tight line, and he does. So, not too much of a factor there, but Stagman absolutely starting to close the gap up on Devon here. So Devon having to go a little defensive now. Stagman really grabbing all that curb there. Got a really good run, but he had to back off just because he went in a little too hot and had to back off, so he didn't tap Devon Calypso. But he is going to get the inside line coming around the corner. Is he going to get this move done? Coming around this, so he still has... No, they're still side by side. He is ahead a little bit now. Is he going to pull in front and defend here? No. He's going to give Calypso that inside line coming into these final corner here. Ooh, he gets a really good run on the outside, but that gives him the inside track for that little bit of a left-hand turn there. So Stagman did a really great job on Calypso there to get that position from Stagman. From Calypso, sorry. So Stagman getting around Calypso for 7th place here, but Calypso's like, hey, I'm not done yet, hold on, where are you going? You whoa, we ain't done, hold on, come back here, boy. So Calypso now on the hunt to try and get that position back from Stagman. We got Dubs trying to close back up on these two. As you see, Toolshed has gotten around Dubs here now. If I were Dubs, I'd be like, hey, let's get on the back end of this guy and follow this guy around. Oh, we see a driver going wide there. I'm not sure who that was. It looked like it was Stagman. So, Devon Calypso getting 7th place back. Dubs getting 8th place there as well. And Stagman now losing 2 positions. Getting a little bit wide in the corner there. Spinning his car out. So, oh, that hard-fought battle all thrown away there for that little bit of a mistake coming around that corner. So, we have Marchie Boy in 10th. We have Astro in 11th here now. So, Marchie Boy is starting to make up some ground. And Noam here in 12th. So we are with our race leader Toolshed. As you see, Devon just opting to get right out of his way there. So Devon Calypso just getting out of Toolshed's way, and Toolshed continues marching on down the road, trying to now chase down, I guess would be Ghost 45 would be the next driver he's trying to lap here. So Toolshed is on his march to the race win, still looking very, very quick. Is still in the 112s here, almost at lap 60. So, on an absolutely blazing fast pace. We have Viper and Spider Team still just battling, just chilling. One right behind the other. Spider getting a little bit wide there. Woo! Just manages to save it. A little bit of dirty air factoring in possibly there. As you see, Spider Team now trying to get some clean air into the front end of that car so we can get... Oh, and Viper makes a mistake! Oh, and Spider Team finally gets around Viper there. Oh, that is heartbreaking. Viper just getting a little bit deep into that corner, catching the track edge, and sending him off the track there. So, giving Spider Team 2nd place there. So, Spider Team's patience absolutely 100% just paying off there. As we see, Spider Team was behind Viper for like... I had to have been close to 20 laps now, ladies and gentlemen. Just really chilling out behind him. Not trying to force anything there. And sure enough, Viper finally made that mistake. And Spider Team able just to get around and very quickly gain a gap on Viper. So Is Viper going to push and try to close that back up now? It looks like he is absolutely going to try and close that gap back up with Spider Team, but they're about 2 seconds apart from each other right now. So Formula One coming through where we just saw Viper lose his car there. So a very large gap between our top three to the rest of the field. Walk Motorsports is very, very slowly reeling Formula One in here. Lap by lap, he is slowly closing that gap up on the 4th place driver, Formula One here. So doing a really, really fantastic job here. Ghost in 6th place now, coming up to Noam here. So we'll just keep our eye on this real quick. Coming right into the final corner here, so let's see how this is going to play out. Ghost opting to go very wide here. Just give as much space to each other as they can. And easy peasy. Great job by Noam there. Great job by Ghost. So we do have a battle here between Calypso and Dubs now. So Calypso just fighting Dubs off for 7th place there. So let's stick with this battle here really, really quick, as we have Dubs putting all kinds of pressure on Devon Calypso here now, and we can see Stangman is just off in the background behind these guys. So Dubs goes really, really quick. Whoa, and Dubs just misses his braking point, goes way deep into corner 1, off into the sand. Calypso, thank you very much, I'll take that back. And Stangman going, oh, right on, thank you, I'll have 8th place now. So Dubs falling back to 9th place there, making a bit of a mistake trying to get a move done, and just looked like he missed his brake marker there and just drove right through corner 1 there. So Marchie Boy here in 10th place now as well, hoping he can start to gain up. I believe he's had yellow flag waving there. So Toolshed now coming up on what looks like to be Noam, and then goes just in front of him. So let's do a second half on board with our race leader Toolshed as he comes across the start-finish line here. I'm going to wet my palette so we can finish off the last 15 minutes of this race. Let's get the OP view here, get into that cockpit view. So we see him getting around Noam here, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm just going to let you listen to this car for this lap. My apologies, guys. I'm going to switch to the other driver, so we'll give you another lap with our race leader here, as we kind of gypped him a little bit there. So we'll give him a full lap here with the onboard, and then we will get ready to present this race finish to you guys and gals that are tuning in here tonight for this Valentine's Day broadcast of GT Champions World Cup. So Toolshed here starting to try and close the gap on Ghost 45 here. So let's see what happens here. Is Ghost just pulls out of his way, gives him the corner there, says, okay, no, go on through. So great job by Ghost there to give Toolshed the position, but Ghost tucking right up in behind the leader there. You can see in the mirrors, Ghost is just going to try and stick with him here. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, on board with our race leader, Toolshed, once again. So, Ghost trying to utilize Toolshed right now, as you can see, absolutely all over the back end of the race leader here. Played a little bit of a risky game because you definitely don't want to get into the back end of the leader here. But also, I mean, really, Ghost does have the right to race for that lead lap at the same time. But looking like he's just trying to use the race leader to catch up to the rest of the pack here. You can't catch up on your own. Let's just try to use somebody a little bit faster then. It's a great idea. Let's see if it works out for Ghost. So, Spider Team here in second place. Really driven away from Viper at this point, as we can see a couple of lap cars in between Viper and Spider Team here. So we have Stangman and Dubs now in between Viper and Spider, between Viper and Spider Team for second and third place here. So again, the lap traffic looking very racy tonight. They're not making it easy for the lead car drivers to get around here at Autopolis, but again, they do have the right to their lines. So Average Viper just showing some patience here, just kind of waiting for the right moment to get around these guys, as Dubs does go a little bit wide around the corner there, making a mistake again there in the second last corner. Getting into the sand, you can see him there trying to scrub those tires off coming around that final corner. So Viper getting around Dubs there, just needs to work on Stangman there. And Stangman, of course, grabbing a position off Dubs there as well in the process of that mistake. So Formula One here in fourth place. We've got Walk in fifth, Ghost in sixth, Stangman in seventh. We've got Dubs in eighth. We've got Calypso in ninth place. We've got Marchy Boy in 10th. We've got Pancake in 11th. Noam in 12th. So, Toolshed, our race leader. You can see he is absolutely starting to drive away from Ghost there, and starting to make some track on Walk Motorsport there, but potentially maybe Ghost and Walk Motorsport having a battle here. Again, we only have about 11 minutes left in the race, so not sure how that's going to play out for some of these drivers here as they're trying to make up that ground. We have Spider Team here in second place as well. Viper in third, just getting around Stangman there, coming into the final final hairpin, extra hairpin corner. I don't even, that's a little more than a hairpin, that corner. It's quite a crazy corner. Formula One just coming up to this point here. Woo, a little slippery in fourth place. We've got Walk in fifth, Ghost in sixth. We've got Stangman in seventh, now behind Viper, trying to use Viper the same way Ghost was trying to use Toolshed just a little bit earlier there. Dubs now starting to close up back on the back end of Stangman here as well. We've got Calypso here in ninth place, just off the back of that. And then we've got Marchy Boy, Astro, and Noam here in 12th. So our race leader, ladies and gentlemen, is Toolshed, and we are going to get rid of this banner. So you guys can see the tires and the fuel situations of all our drivers as we are nearing the final stretch of our race here. We have 10 minutes left. So we do see Toolshed on the soft tire. Now, as we know before, obviously from before pit window, all the drivers except for one started on the medium tire. So with that being said, all the drivers but one are currently on the soft tire, or should be anyways. So Toolshed here on the soft tire, starting to wear a little bit, and starting to close that gap on Walk Motorsports, and should be no issue for fuel by the looks of it there. We have Spider Team here in second on that soft tire. The soft tire is looking really good. Fuel looking pretty good. We've got Viper in third place. His soft tire is starting to look a little bit worn, not too bad, and he has plenty of fuel to push if he needs to. Formula One here in fourth place on the medium tire. Lots of fuel in the tank. Walk Motorsports on that soft tire as well. Lots of fuel in his tank. It looks like he should be okay with a quarter tank. 10 minutes to go. We have Ghost. Ghost tires are looking terrible. Ghost tires are some of the worst we've seen so far looking through the field. I should have enough fuel though. Tires are looking definitely worn. And we look at Stangman's tires behind him. They're just night and day, man. 50% better and plenty of fuel. So the Dubs in 8th place here. His tires looking, starting to look a little worn, but better than Ghost tires, that's for sure. And plenty of fuel in that tank. We've got Devon Calypso's tires are looking quite worn here as well. Much like Ghost tires, not looking the greatest. Plenty of fuel. Marchie Boy's tires look fantastic, and he has plenty of fuel in that tank. Astro's tires are starting to look a little bit used for mediums, but lots of fuel in the tank. And our last driver, Noam, has a little bit of damage there as well. Tires look fantastic, though. So to our race leader, ladies and gentlemen, we have 8 minutes remaining. Massive shout out to Detailing Group, our major sponsor here at GT Champions World Cup Season 3. And of course, another massive shout out to Metropolis, Pride of the Dragon, and High Pre as well. Our other sponsors here at GT Champions World Cup Season 3. Without you guys, this stuff doesn't happen. So huge shout out to our sponsors. And of course, huge shout out to all our competitors here on track tonight, as well, as they're doing a fantastic job here at Autopolis short course in Japan. So, Toolshed, looking like he should have this dialed in. I don't want to say anything further than that. We don't want to give the poor guy some commentator curse here, so we're just going to leave him continue on. Spider team's looking very solid here in second place. Viper in third place. No real pressure from Formula One here either. Juan in fourth place. All four of these drivers really just got to bring it home at this point. Walk in fifth place. He's getting blue flag here. Oh, pardon me, as well. With Toolshed starting to close up on him here. So, doing well. We have Ghost in sixth place. I just got to put these laps, and all these drivers are kind of starting to space out. The only real battle we have kind of maybe close here is this battle between Dubs and Stagman here. So we'll keep our eye on that. We've got Calypso in 9th, Marchie Boy in 10th, Astro in 11th, and Noam in 12th place. And of course, we lost Picteca, who will get a 13th place finish for the race today due to disconnection. So Toolshed is starting to close up on Walk Motorsports, our 5th place driver here, as we have about 5 minutes remaining here this afternoon at Autopolis. And not really pushing the fact too much, just trying to bring home this race win. So this will be Toolshed's first win of the season here at GT Champions, if he can finish out the race in P1. Spider team again looking very solid in P2 here. He's been driving very, very consistently all season long. Viper's been battling very close to the top of the field here all season long as well, sitting in third place. Formula One been having a great drive here today as well, sitting in fourth place. Walk Motorsports having a fantastic drive here in fifth place, as we can see him trying to get around trying to get back around Toolshed there, as Toolshed just manages to get around him there. Ghost in sixth place. He's got a little up and down this season, but currently sitting second overall in the standings, so just needs to bring this one home himself as well. Stagman and Dubs now just about midway up the start-finish line from Ghost here. And again, we know Ghost tires are hurting, so we're definitely going to be keeping an eye on these two drivers to see if they can catch up to him by the end of the race. Oh, and we do have a yellow flag here. So, looking like Ghost had a little bit of an incident there. Let's go check that out here. Oh, yeah, he missed his turn-in point coming into turn one, and just put it sideways, and just managed to really stop some serious damage going into the wall there, but really unfortunate there for Ghost, as that's going to give Stagman and Dubs an opportunity to close that gap up. We can see it right there. They've already closed a very large portion of that gap up. So Stagman coming around the corner here, and Ghost has gone back off again into the next corner. So Stagman has gotten around Ghost Terror here. So Stagman now up in sixth place with a couple of really big mistakes from Ghost Terror, and Dubs making the look a move here, going inside around the hairpin. He's going to get the move on Ghost as well. So Ghost losing 2 positions on 2 very late race mistakes here. Really unfortunate for Ghost, but really, really fortunate for the two drivers trying to chase him down there. So Stangman and Dubs gaining each a position there on Ghost on those couple of spins there into that first sector of the racetrack there. So really exciting stuff there at the end. So Marchie Boy now making a march in 9th place. We got Calypso here in 10th. Astro in 11th and Noam in 12th. So a little bit of shifting positions in the back half of the pack here as we come in towards the end of this race. And Toolshed here just doing his thing, man. Getting ready to bring this race home. He's got about 3 laps left, give or take. Spider Team is looking very solid here in 2nd place. Viper in 3rd place here, looking solid as well. We have Formula One in 4th. Walk Motorsports is starting to close that gap a little bit, I think. He can see Juan, but he does have traffic in between him and Formula One in the shape of our race leader Toolshed here. So what do you do here? You have to push. You're running out of time. Do you hope that Toolshed can catch Formula One before the race ends, or do you try to make a move around Toolshed so you can try to catch Formula One at this point? So Motorsport in a bit of a predicament right there with a decision to make. Stangman now in 6th place, Dubs in 7th. Goes trying to chase Dubs back down in 8th place here. We have Marchie Boy in 9th, just coming on the straightaway here. Can he catch Goes? 10th is Devon Calypso. Astro in 11th, and Noam here in our final position. So our race leader, Toolshed, slowly starting to close that gap on our 4th place driver, Formula One, and Walk Motorsports just trying to follow him through here. So going to be interesting to see what happens here. Ooh, and Viper getting a little bit wide there. Oh, you almost lost it. Viper almost lost it there in 3rd place. Ooh, that would have been disastrous so late in the race with Formula One trying to bear down on him. There is a pretty significant gap there. He probably would have been okay if he would have lost control there, but still not something you want to do, as we just saw earlier. Ghost spinning out twice there and losing 2 positions very late in the race there. So crucial points lost by drivers making mistakes late on bad tires. May be the case for some of these drivers, perhaps struggling with those tires. Dubs here now sitting in 7th place. We've got Ghost behind him in 8th. We've got Calypso in 9th place. We've got Marchie Boy in 10th. We've got Pancake in 11th. And we've got Noam in 12th. So again, back to our race leader, ladies and gentlemen, as we are getting very, very close to the end of this race. Looking like Toolshed should actually get one more lap here. Starting to get a little low on fuel though, and you can see Walk is tucked right up behind him here. And he does pull away from Walk coming out of the exit there, so Toolshed is on his final lap here. Spider Team should come across in 2nd place. Yes, so 2nd place finisher is Spider Team, ladies and gentlemen. Viper will come across in 3rd place here for round 5. So Toolshed essentially is going to get a victory lap here. We have Formula One coming across in 5th. We see Stangman in 6th back in the back there. We see Dubs in 7th. Ghost coming across in 8th. We're just going to stick with our 4th place driver here, as he is going to come around in 4th with Toolshed, our race leader, in tow, and our 5th place driver in tow, Walk Motorsports. So our finish is a little bit jumbled up here today, but that is the way it goes in these endurance races, especially when you have a large pace difference in the field like we are seeing here today. So Formula One will come across the line in 4th place. Toolshed giving the position to Motorsport there. You can see to see if he can make a run on Juan right at the end here. It was a great job by Motorsport. Juan getting fourth, Motorsport in fifth, and our race winner is Toolshed, ladies and gentlemen. That was a fantastic race. Great job by all the drivers there. And again, a little bit of a mixed up race finish there because we had the fourth, fifth place driver in amongst our first place driver who was essentially on a victory lap. So, congratulations to our podium finishers, ladies and gentlemen. Big congratulations to Viper there for a strong third place race. Congratulations to Spider Team for yet another podium finish this season, sitting in second place for this race. And congratulations to Toolshed for the race win. First win of this season for Toolshed. And definitely going to see a massive shakeup in those leaderboard standings going into round 6 next week. So, ladies and gentlemen, next week's race will be St. Croix C. And it's going to be an open GR3 round for the drivers. So what that means is what GT Champions has done a little bit differently this year than they did last season is they've allowed one open GR4 round and one open GR3 round. So we saw the open GR4 round earlier in the season on Lago Maggiore West, where the drivers got to pick any GR4 of their choice for the race. So next week's race will be the same thing, where the drivers are heading to St. Croix C, and they're going to have the pick of any GR3 car that they want to use for the race. So that's really going to shake up round 6. You're going to see a lot of different cars on the track, I'm sure. St. Croix C is a very large racetrack. It's a very, very high speed, mixed in with a lot of technical type of racetrack. It's going to be a very, very great race to watch. And thank you everybody so much for tuning in tonight. And just a great job by all our drivers on track. We've seen some amazing battles this evening, from the front of the pack right to the back of the pack. We've seen great position swapping throughout the race. We've seen some mistakes. We've seen a little bit of race finish fireworks there. Some drivers making some mistakes, losing some vital points. Some drivers capitalizing on mistakes just by staying close enough, keeping a little bit better shape of their tires and their fuel. And that's endurance racing, ladies and gentlemen. Sometimes you're going to have a good one, and sometimes you're not going to have the greatest one. So, great job by all the competitors. Can't wait to see how everything shakes up in the standings. And thank you so much for tuning in. Again, ladies and gentlemen, this was GT Champions World Cup Season 3, Round 5 at Autopolis Short road course here. And it was the Group 4 Hyundai Genesis one-make race. And this was done on Saturday, February 12th, and just being broadcast here this evening. Thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are the engine behind the leagues here. You guys are the engines behind these broadcasts. Thank you so much to all the viewers for coming in, smashing those reactions, throwing out those shares. We love you so much. We appreciate you. And this is why we put these races on for you guys, the fans out there. So I hope you all enjoyed the broadcast this evening. And thank you for tuning in. We'll be back next Monday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Round 6 of GT Champions World Cup Season 3. And that will be broadcast by your host, Ghost. And it will be done the same way it's been done all season. It will be a rebroadcast, ladies and gentlemen. So it will be done a couple days after the race has taken place. And again, that is just because the host does compete in the division. So thank you so much for tuning in. And we're going to send you off with an absolutely amazing video that GT Champions provides us with here. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you all very soon. Massive shout out to DG, Detailing Group, Metropolis, Pride of the Dragon, and again, High Pre for all the graphics seen tonight. We love you guys. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next week.